Hey, thank you guys for being here. I realize it's 4 o'clock. I know that's a little bit of a mind meld being here. So I got a lot of great advice from a lot of my friends and clients and vendors downstairs. So I'm going to take their advice and give a high level of what we do, but more from a perspective of a lot of the shareholder and investor questions that I get on an ongoing basis to give you guys a little bit better perspective of some of the things you may be more interested in, as opposed to me reading a PowerPoint. So I think most of you guys are here. You realize that we are a fintech and telecommunications company. So let me go ahead and power through this. You guys are aware of the safe harbor. This was a slide a lot of the guys wanted me to focus on. So let me hit on some key points here. We got 12.1 million shares in the float. 50% of the company is owned by insiders. I own 38% of the company. So I do factor in the shareholder value and anti-dilution into a lot of my hybrid-minded growth philosophy. We provide the underbanked and underserved. We penetrate that market through stores where they shop, the community stores, C-stores, bodegas, and then also we provide internet directly to consumers in our market. Touching a little bit on the market opportunity of the underbanked. I know most likely none of us in this room are underbanked, and sometimes we don't realize how large of a market that is. The Miami Herald just did an article a couple of months ago, and they quoted that a third of the state of Florida qualified for government-subsidized internet, which is what we provide. Florida is a good cross-section of the country, and it matches up with the 100 million adults that fall into that underbanked category. So I like the pictures too because I want to make sure that people are able to relate to the stores. It's not a ghetto store or some type of unnamed old gas station. I mean, these are the convenience stores that we go in for coffee and Red Bull and what have you. I mean, these are stores that these communities depend on for basically calories, products, services, especially when in the crazy world that we live in with gas prices and the other inflationary items where it's a little bit harder to get around. These are the stores in their community right around the corner that they depend on and visit 5 to 7 times a week. Our B2C, I touched on us providing internet service to the underbanked. During COVID, the government was made aware of the limitations for low-income folks and their access to the internet. Folks weren't able to connect with their teachers. They weren't able to do the classroom online. So the government enacted what they called EBB. It was the Emergency Broadband Benefit. Due to the success of that program, in the infrastructure bill at the end of last year, they converted EBB to ACP, which is the Affordable Connectivity Program. And to give you the economics on it, the government subsidizes internet connectivity for low income. Now, you qualify for it if you get any government program. Food stamps, WIC, which by the way, WIC is providing immigrants, non-citizens with diapers, baby formula, and other things to sustain children. So it's been a really, really big program for us. We started in August with no customers, 0. It ramped up quickly to over 65,000 customers. We did an acquisition about a month and a half ago of Torch Wireless. We're now in all 50 states. We're over 100,000 customers, and we're growing at a little over 1,000 customers a day. The economics of the product and the way that the program works, and it's important, so I promise I wouldn't do too much math, but this is important on the math. A tablet costs us about $82 to $85. We get reimbursed $100 to put that tablet in a customer's hands. If you look up top right, these are tents that we set up in convenience store parking lots in low-income neighborhoods. Got big banners, free internet. They come, they sign up. There's a database that they're scrubbed against. If they qualify, they walk away with a tablet and internet connectivity. So it costs us $85. We get reimbursed $100. And the service, we get reimbursed for $30 a month ongoing. All the customer has to do is use it. They don't have to pay. It's a free service provided to them. Our cost is about $12 for that service. So that's one of the reasons it's really contributed to our growth in the past 6 months. We've really gone all in with this program. It's been a great cash cow for us. It's one of the reasons why we moved from red ink on the financials to black ink. It's been a big deal for us, and it's also enabled us to directly get into the households of the customers, because while these are subscribers, it's a little bit different than a wireless subscriber because it is a household. So one of our upsells that we're working on right now is going back to these customers and asking, how many prepaid wireless phones do you have in your household? Most average 3 to 5. We're able to offer family plans and upgrade plans to those because we're already making, 17 to 18 bucks per household. So it's a really good competitive advantage for us to compete with the other prepaid folks out there. Our B2B play. Now, what we just talked about was directly into the home, directly to the consumer. Our consumer base, and I put this at the top, the technology at the counter to make sure, and let me differentiate because a lot of people mistake us for ATMs, a machine that's out in the convenience store. We've tried things like that in the past. It doesn't work. The influencers, as we like to call them nowadays, for the underbanked and underserved are not folks in Silicon Valley or Hollywood. The influencer is a clerk behind the counter at the store that they go to 5 times a week. The guy that knows who they are and most likely what they're going to buy when they come in the store. So we go into a store, mainly independently owned stores, and we offer the store the ability to set up a gift card rack. Most of these stores don't qualify to be able to do that because of the anti-money laundering laws. It is 4 o'clock. And gift cards, reloadable debit cards, prepaid top-ups, quite a few other products that we call quasi-banked for the underbanked. We've integrated with Amazon to be able to load their Amazon app directly without having to get a debit card and then load that onto Amazon. A lot of other cool little direct applications that we've done, DraftKings, PokerStars, iTunes, ways that folks that don't have a credit card can load apps directly load directly with the countertop by putting money on the counter. And if you'll look at the top right, you'll see we've got a laptop, which we prefer at the store. Most stores now have a computer at the counter. If they don't have a computer at the counter and they can't use our secure app, we have reprogrammed Verifone terminals that you see up there on the right. Those are used mainly in the urban areas, like let's call it like the bodegas in New York, where it's more of a cubby hole. And folks it's a tiny little store and they don't have quite the space for a computer. But all of these transactions happen over the SurgePays fintech network. One of our key ways that we get in the store and what we really call our Trojan horse is being able to do wireless top-ups. There's 100 million prepaid wireless companies out there, TracFone, T-Mobile, Boost, Metro PCS. These customers are paying cash. Most customers are creatures of habit and they go back to the store where they got the phone. Once they see a poster or a sticker or something out on a gas pump at the store that they can now pay or top up their prepaid wireless. Again, things we may not think about because most of ours are automatically billed to our credit card or checking account. Every 30 days, the prepaid customer has to re-up. So that's why you hear us say top up. Even Bitcoin. Bitcoin's an interesting one for us because we feel like the immigrant population is going to shift from using MoneyGram, Siga, Rie, a lot of the other money wiring companies, due to the 15% that they're taking to transfer that capital down to Central and South America. Being able to buy Bitcoin for cash at the convenience store and then transfer it to their loved ones, essentially fee-free. We do feel like that's going to be something that's going to be gain a little bit more traction over the next 2 years. We're already there. We're already able to offer the tiendas and mercados the ability to sell Bitcoin to immigrants here that are working. Put this slide in just because people do ask us sometimes. We do own our own platform. We built it from the ground up. Going all the way back to the days of a rudimentary platform that we started, almost 12 to 13 years ago to take home telephone payments at the convenience store. It's evolved over the years. We've added blockchain. We've added the cloud, a lot of redundancy, security, and I call it modularized to make sure that we could adapt an API, other new products as they come along. So there's more of a cloud to explain, our partners, people we use, people we're integrated with to make sure that the 20,000 transactions we do at the convenience stores across the country every single day are secure and, no downtime. I'm sure everybody talks about their organic and acquisitory growth. I like this slide because if you look up here and you see the dots on the map, that's the 8,000 stores that we have currently on our network. Those are all partner stores. Most of them are individually owned. And those are the stores that carry the products we just showed you. So there's two things with that. 8,000 sounds like a big number, but when you see it on the map and you see how many more hundreds of thousands of stores And the concentration of us, we're based in Memphis, so you can tell kind of geographically how we've grown and the upside of growth of what's out there, whether it's through acquiring other companies that provide underbanked products or underbanked product to stores, and then being able to deploy our entire platform in those stores. I just left a convention last week with a company out of East Tennessee called HT Hackney. They're going to introduce us to their 30,000 convenience stores that they sell cigarettes and other consumables to. We're their prepaid partner now. So there's a lot of ways for us to grow, either through existing distribution channels or an in-house sales team, which we're currently building. The Torch acquisition on the ACP side of things, while it did open the 50 states for us, it also enabled us to now do online sales. When we only had 14 states on the government subsidized wireless, it's very expensive to geo-fence 14 states. Now we can broadcast nationwide. We're starting to see about 200 to 300 sales a day coming in online. We're just priming the software, the CRM, just making sure everything is waterproof there to really start to push there. So the upside of what's in front of us is pretty significant, especially when you look at the fact that these stores, every one of those stores that you see is a potential parking lot where we can go sit up one of those pop-up tents with the free internet banner and have everyone in that community now on our internet service. And then with the upsell of prepaid wireless, hey, just go back to the store where you signed up. And then being able to incorporate other products like telehealth. We're very close to being able to offer telehealth. As you know, the emergency rooms are packed out, not from emergencies, but they're packed out from folks that are going to get FaceTime with a doctor that are underinsured. We're going to be able to bring talk, text, and data and FaceTime your doctor for the same price that a Boost or Metro PCS would be able to offer just talk, text, and data. And we can do it because we've completed the circle. We've got the ACP, we've got the family plan, and they're going to pay on our network as stores that are doing transactions on SurgePays fintech platform. Here's the takeaways and the highlights, and then we can get to a couple of questions. We did $51 million in sales last year. We're projected at $130 million this year. Our wireless subscribers right now are over 100,000. Probably going to need to give upward guidance there. We didn't incorporate the Torch acquisition when we gave guidance on 200,000 subscribers. That was based off 14 states. So give me another couple of months and we'll probably adjust that number. And again, it's $30 a month reoccurring every month. All the customer has to do is use it. We've got a 60% margin on that product. 8,000 stores currently transacting on our platform. And again, that's doing all the prepaid transactions, loading debit cards, gift cards at the convenience store level. We'll be adding constantly new products there. Amazon's working with us to not only push their Amazon Cash product, but also to deploy lockers in the convenience stores in these neighborhoods. They're looking for ways to penetrate the underbanked market as well, but they know that they're not going to be able to deliver boxes on every doorstep or apartment welcome mat. One of the things that I think that's interesting, especially today with rate hikes, is our market. If you wanted to use the phrase de-risk, that's what a lot of the guys that advise us talk about. Our market is that third of the country that really is not affected by inflation, gas price, interest rate, GDP, all the other factors that we've learned and we incorporate into maybe other decisions that we make. And to be blunt, gas prices actually help our business because it just made it more expensive for them to go beyond that community corner store. Now it's cheaper just to go right down to that corner store that they depend on, as opposed to figuring out how to get to Walmart or Target or go across town to your larger superstores. So we really do look at ourselves as a de-risked investment in this kind of crazy world, and our numbers are growing by double digits every quarter with all the other chaos that's going on around us. And just touching on the last part, this is one of the questions I get every single call. We're not burning cash. We're not. The ACP program and our growth on the fintech platform side has given us the luxury to now being able to deploy capital as strategically as possible. And again, my biggest challenge as a CEO of the company, working with my CFO right now, is maximizing our growth every single month with the cash flow we have coming in and trying to be intelligent and factoring all the components of that growth into making sure we're pushing as hard as we can to get beyond 200,000, 400,000, a million subscribers, and do so in a way that's intelligent from an overall, let's just call it not taking bad capital just to grow the company. So these are really the takeaways. And again, I don't want to get too granular unless you guys want to, ask granular questions. I'm an open book. I'm a little bit, I'm easygoing with my shareholders. I set aside a couple hours a day actually for shareholders to set up times with me. And I love the interaction. I love the questions. So if you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer them. Fire away. Yes, sir. Yeah, the question was about the cash position and the debt on the balance sheet. We have about $3 million of non-insider debt on our books, ballpark. And I say non-insider because I was, my funding company was, I loaned the money to the company to get us to NASDAQ, which I don't know that I said that, but we got to NASDAQ in the fourth quarter of last year. We were delayed about a year because of COVID and just kind of the craziness up in New York. So I floated us to get there. I put about $7 million in. I think the company owes, me, let's say 5 ballpark. But it's more concerned about the outsider capital and the capital that the debt that we have right now is based on receivables from the government. Like right now, I believe we have a $5.3 million receivable from the government. And I'll walk you through the math on that. By the 15th of the month, we filed what's called a Form 497 for all of the new customers that we added the previous calendar month, and then also all of the existing customers' usage. So if I signed you up last month, we would get $130, $100 for the tablet and $30 for your usage. So all of our new customers, we got $130 for, and the existing previously enrolled customers, we get $30 for. That comes by the end of the month. So we basically got while the receivables there for a couple of weeks, my challenge is getting as many devices as I can here, paying for them, getting them in the hand, paying a commission, and then floating that for 45 or 60 days. So and then also managing salespeople in the field. We have 400 people across the country who set up those tents. They can't run out of tablets. Sales guy that runs out of tablets, not your sales guy anymore. And then I'm not in the business of training my competition sales guys. I pride myself on our sales organization. My past is in a sales guy, and losing salespeople kills you when you're the one that's trained them. So if we're going to do 30,000 activations this month, then it's going to take 45,000 tablets because, again, they don't stop at the end of the month. That's just another day, and they got to have a supply of tablets for that next day. Again, we've got a receivable. I'd say probably it varies depending on when we buy tablets, but I'd say probably $2.5, $3 million in the bank, cashed at any given time. When we get the government wire, we obviously have 6 to 7, but we put that right back out to buying tablets. Got some great vendors and get that rolling. And one of the things that because I do get the question a lot, well, are you guys going to just stair step this growth? Not if I can help it. I'm very, very aggressive. I'm a hard charging growth guy. We've got about a $5 to $6 million line of credit now, which we just got from our tablet provider. So that's going to be a big deal for us to be able to kind of get over that 30,000 hump and kind of bust through that plateau. So those are the things that we're doing, trying to be as conscientious as possible. Obviously, we get term sheets every week on all kinds of phenomenal stuff, but we feel like we're so significantly undervalued right now. We got to NASDAQ right before the MicroCap bloodbath started, and no one's seen. If you go and look up our financials right now, you're going to see the SurgePays pre-NASDAQ, pre-raise, burning capital, Brian Cox getting the call every 2 weeks from the CFO about how much money we need to cover payroll. That's what you're going to see. You're not going to see the essentially debt-free company that's, again, growing at double digits. It's now, operationally cash flow positive. So I'm not willing to take on debt based on my stock price right now due to the significant undervalue that I believe it is. Sure. Any other questions? All right. Well, I'm not going to talk anymore. I know it's been an interesting day, and I had a lot of had a lot of fun comments and jabs in the arm about my 4 o'clock presentation today. So I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. I was a little worried it was going to be a half empty room. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.